Hi guys, I am back and today I'm going to be doing my intro to 2022 kind of inventory and goals. If you have been around for a while, you know that I did a similar sort of video to this, I believe in like May of last year, just kind of going through my whole collection, talking about what I have, what I've used up, things like that. And then now I would like to, hopefully if I can have some solid project planning, going through and updating this every 6 months. So maybe come back in June, do another update to this inventory, and then be back in like December or next January. So without much further ado, I just want to kind of hop straight into this. I've organized things in a spreadsheet since I don't have my entire collection with me, and this also helps me visually see what areas are out of control. The first area that I want to talk about, and the first area that is out of control, is actually my primers. I have 11 primers right now. I do count minis as long as it's not a single-use sachet, the single-use little foil packets. It counts. So I have 11, including like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minis. I'm working on some of them right now through my Partners in Cream project pan. One thing that is in here is my MAC Strobe Cream. I have that counted as a primer, even though really it is a glowy, like liquid highlighter. That's because I use it as a primer. I have another liquid highlighter that's with my highlighters. I don't know why I did it that way, but that is just how I did it. If I could use up 3 or 4 primers this year, if I could get rid of all the minis and just have a couple full-size primers, that would be ideal, and just work through as much as possible. But this is an area that I would really like to tackle this year. Get it down to maybe like 5 or 6 products, and then just use up a couple, like 1 or 2 every year. No, I could probably use up 2 primers in a year, full-size. I don't know, I'm guesstimating, but you know what I mean. I would like to get some of these worked out of my collection. Then for foundation, I just have 2 kind of tinted moisturizer type things. I don't love either of them. I wouldn't repurchase them. I'm wearing the ColourPop Pretty Fresh tinted moisturizer today. My Kula Resilience one, I think, might break me out. I'm not sure. I'm very sensitive to sunscreen, and that is a tinted sunscreen. So I'm really unsure if I'll actually finish that or if I'll end up decluttering / throwing it out. I really hope I can get use out of it or find a way to use it, but I'm not sure. So if I could have both of these products moved out of my collection by the end of the year, that would be perfect. I only have 1 concealer, which is really great. I just have my RMS on Cover Up concealer. I use it every day. I really love that concealer. When I use it up, I will get a new concealer. Might just be a repurchase of the RMS one. I'm not sure yet, but we'll figure it out. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 powders right now. My Coty Airspun is a full size. The other 3 are minis. One of them is a mini that I like repressed into a powder pan. I have really no clue how long it'll take me to use up the minis. I know I have like 5 years worth of powder just in that Coty Airspun powder, so if I could get this down by using up some of the minis, that would make me very happy. But I realized that if I wanted to work out my Coty Airspun, that would be a long commitment, and I have no intention to buy powder any time in the near future, so I could just kind of get to a point with my powder, like my concealer. I have 1, I just use it every day, and I'm happy with that. Bronzer, I have 2 bronzers right now. My Tarte Park Avenue Princess palette, which I panned last year and got about halfway through, and then I have my Benefit Hoola. Now both of these are something that I mentioned in my 2022 would like to pan video. I don't think I'll be able to get both of them rolled out, but I would like to get at least one of these products rolled out of my collection. It just depends on when I finish up the bronzer in my Pan That Face palette. If you did not see that intro, I will link it below. And then how much time I have for the rest of the year. So we shall see. If I could just kind of work through these, and then this is going to be another category where I have 1 that I use every day, and then so on and so forth. Blush is not my best area. I have 9 single pan blushes. Some of them are minis. I could probably work through the minis sometime in the next couple of years. Blush is another area where I have like 9 years worth of blush, not including the stuff in face palettes and other larger palettes that happen to have a blush in them. So this is an area that I don't need to buy things from. A lot of how this got to where it is because people would give me things, which is very generous, but I don't buy blush. I just kind of, I fall in love with one of them in my collection. I use it a ton, and then I either use it up or fall in love with a new one in my collection. This won't see much progress this year because I am panning a face palette that has 2 blushes in it, and I think those will last me all of 2022. Speaking of face palettes, I have 7. That is including my like 3 duos that have bronzer and highlighter in them. So now looking at this, once I use up my bronzers, I'll probably turn to these face palettes and start using up the bronzers out of those, and then I'll figure out what to do with the highlighters. But yeah, this is another area that could probably be whittled down, but will be difficult to whittle down. I'm panning a face palette this year. I do think I can reasonably use it up in a year. I just don't think I'll be able to use up more than 1 face palette per year. So I have like 7 years worth of face palettes. Highlighter is another area that's not my best. I have 12 single highlighters. Some of these I actually could very reasonably use up. Both of my Becca pressed highlighters don't have very much product left in them, so I could definitely use those up. I have a lot of minis, so that would also help if I focused on one of those in the next couple of years. But my goal right now is to use up at least one of my liquid or cream highlighters this year, and then come back and start kind of strategically going and panning my highlighters, even if I just use one until I hit pan, and then use another one until I hit pan, and then use another one until I hit pan, and then have to go back, and then okay, I'll use this one until I expand the pan this much, or I'll use this one until I use it up, or whatever that is. I think I could do it in a strategic way. I just have a highlighter in the face palette that I'm panning, which is beautiful, and it'll take me a while to get through these. I probably have like 20 years worth of highlighter, but we're just gonna appreciate all of them and move on. Something that I could definitely whittle down is my single shadows, not necessarily because I think I can use up a ton of them, but because a lot of them are liquids and creams and like liquid glitters. I have a lot of Stila Magnificent Metals or Shimmer and Glows or Glitter and Glows. So those will probably go bad before I can use all of them up, and that is like roughly a third. I have 20 single shadows right now, so I could probably use those up, maybe like 1 or 2 of them before they go bad, but that's something that I expect to whittle down very suddenly when I have accepted that they don't work anymore, and just kind of get rid of some of them, which will be a sad day because they are beautiful, but it is what it is, so we shall see. Eye primers, I just have 2. They're both like, one's almost empty, the other one's a mini. I am hoping to use up both of those this year and not buy a new eye primer. For eyeshadow palettes, I have 37, so that is a lot. I did a pan that palette last year, wasn't successful in using it up, but I want to do more panning, as in like trying to hit pan on things in 2022, and then kind of use more stuff in my collection so that I can come back and do another dedicated pan that palette in 2023. That's my goal. Also, I'm going to graduate in 2023, and I think a part of graduating is going to be very critically decluttering, because I may have to move. I may have to move across states. And I may have to move across the country. So because of that, I think that when I graduate, there will be a serious declutter where I do get rid of some of these, or I do rehome some of these. But I would like to do more Pan That palettes. I'm really loving my Pan Those Eyeshadows project so far this year. I think it's a really good way to get me to use palettes. I wanted to do another Pan That palette, but I was having such a hard time picking because my collection was feeling neglected. So this way I get to use 4 palettes pretty regularly, and since I'm not so stressed about using it up, I do feel free to explore within my collection a little bit more. For eyeliners, I have so many freaking eyeliners. I have 15. I don't need 15. The worst part is most of them are black and brown, so it's not even like I can use them like crazy. They're just kind of synonymous with one another. I would love to use up, if I could get like 3 or 4 moved out of my collection, that would be ideal. The issue is I'm not really in a huge eyeliner phase right now, so I just forget I'm not wearing any eyeliner today. That was mostly because it's night, and I'm going to be washing my face off after I'm done filming, so eyeliner's just kind of messy and I didn't feel like doing that. I could definitely work through some of my liquid liners pretty easily. I've been in more of a liquid liner phase. Those are also something that I don't think I will repurchase once I use all of them up, because I enjoy working with shadow just as much as I do working with the liquid liner. I find it easier, and I have some very rich blacks and browns in my collection that work just as well, and show up just as pigmentedly, and worst comes to worst, I make a little paste with a setting spray or a little bit of water, and then they work completely equally well. So that's my plan. If I could get up 3 or 4 used up, that would be so nice. Mascara is something that I always think I go through faster than I actually do. Right now I have 11. I've had like 9 or 10 or 11 for a while now. If I could get this used up, that would be great. I also don't think this is accurate. This is something that I could have thrown away, my Milk Makeup Kush, because I didn't like that one very much. So I opened my Bare Minerals one, and I have no clue where the Milk Makeup one went. So I should probably delete it. Things like that. So this one I could probably make smaller just by actually looking at what I have. But it's okay. I will figure it out and get back to you all. For now, I have 11. I would like to use them up. I have been using my Bare Minerals Lashtopia since like last June, and it's still going strong. So part of me doesn't want to throw it away because I like this mascara so much, but the other part of me is like, Jasmine, this is way past its prime. For face setting sprays, I have 5, which is really nice, especially considering 3 of them are minis, so I could very easily get them used up. If I could get down to 1 or 2, that would be perfect. Setting spray, I do feel to a certain extent is a necessary step. Not super necessary, but it's nice to have one on hand so that if my face is feeling powdery or dry or whatever, I can set it down. Brow product is hard because I technically have 8, but 6 of them aren't for me. I won a Serene Woo giveaway, and it had a lot of brow products in it for brown or dark brown hair. I have like kind of taupey blondish hair. My roots are like, my hair's still wet from the shower, so my hair's pulling a little dark right now, but I need more of like a taupey shade in my brows, which are very crazy today. We're gonna work with it. So really I have 1 brow product, and then another brow product that I need to throw away. I just haven't yet, and I don't let myself take things off of the spreadsheet until I actually gotten rid of it. So I could throw out my old and completely dry ABH Dip Brow Gel, and then just work on using my pomade this year and be completely fine. And then I need to rehome some of these products. For lip gloss is the next one. I have 34. A lot of these are minis. A lot of my lip products in general are minis because I have been gifted a lot of mini sets over the years. I would love to keep working on my lip products this year. I have been doing my 21 Lippies project, which was really focused on lip products. I think once that wraps up in March, I'm just going to include lip products in my Partners in Cream project, so that'll be really a good way to start using things up. And then for other types of lip products, I have 9 tinted lip balms. You come back. 30 bullet lipsticks. 28 liquid lipsticks. 37 lip pencils, and then 3 lip palettes. I feel like, oh, I missed some. That's it. I feel like that's a good enough approximation. I think I'm missing 1 or 2. I have roughly 145 lip products total. So that is a very large number. I have more lip product that I could probably use before it expires. I've always been like, I feel good about giving things away, but if I know someone wants it, but it's hard for me to just throw product away. I did do a very large declutter and got rid of like 50 lip products, and then I cleaned out the packaging and recycled it, but that was still a lot of, actually no, I got rid of more. I just also have added a lot to my collection over the past year. I would really love to get my lip product collection down. I have been wearing lipstick despite masks and things like that. I really love lipstick, so it's not something that it'll be a problem for me to use up. I just can only go through them so fast. So that's something that is a priority for me, but I know I'm not going to be able to go through like 20 lipsticks in a year. So we'll see where this category is standing in June or the end of the year, or in 2023 or 2024, wherever we go next. I think overall my main goals for 2022, just kind of looking forward, primers. If I could use up some of the mini powders, that would be great. Get rid of one of my bronzers, or not get rid of, get my bronzers down to 1, and use up both of the eye primers, and then use up as many eyeliners as possible. Those are kind of my focus areas, which is great because that can largely be done through my Partners in Cream project, which will be running all year. Anything else can be thrown into my Graveyard project pan, so that'll be really nice. And then lip products are something that I'm always going to be working on. I have been using a lot of lip product as cream blush. That's what I'm doing today, since one of the blushes in my Pan That Face palette is very shimmery and glowy and beautiful, but not super pigmented. I will put on a little bit of lipstick as a cream blush and then layer it on top. So I think I'm going to continue doing that for as long as I like the effect. So hopefully I can work through some lipsticks a little bit faster that way. But other than that, that is really all I have for today's video. I am really excited for 2022 and all of my panning. I have done all of my introductions for my year-long projects, I believe, and so those should all be up by this video. If you are interested in watching my project panning this year, please like, comment, subscribe, all of that jazz, and that is everything that I have for you guys today. So I hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are, and that I get to see you in a future video. Thanks, guys!